Let me ask you something very honestly. Have you ever noticed that the world is always ready to tell a woman how she should look, how she should behave, how she should live, but rarely teaches her how to believe in herself? Confidence is not about being loud. Confidence is not about proving something to others. True confidence is that quiet strength inside you that says, I know who I am and I am enough. Today, I want to share 5 simple habits that every woman needs, not to impress the world, but to stand strong within herself. Have you ever noticed how confidently a small child walks into a room? No fear of judgment, no anxiety about approval. Somewhere between childhood and adulthood, that confidence slowly fades. Not because women become weaker, but because the world becomes louder. Expectations increase, comparisons grow, and slowly a woman begins to doubt herself. Confidence, however, is not something you are born with or lose forever. It is something you rebuild quietly, patiently, habit by habit. A confident life begins each morning before the world gets a chance to speak. When you wake up and immediately pick up your phone, you allow the noise of others' lives to enter your mind before you even understand your own emotions. But when you start your day with a few moments of silence, reflection, or gratitude, you remind yourself that your worth does not depend on notifications, messages, or opinions. That small habit of choosing yourself first builds inner strength that stays with you all day. Many women struggle not because they lack ability, but because they seek validation from the wrong places. When confidence depends on praise, it becomes fragile. The moment appreciation disappears, self-worth collapses. True confidence grows when you stop asking, am I good enough for them? And start asking, am I honest with myself? Growth-focused women don't wait for applause. They focus on progress. When you work on becoming better, approval becomes a side effect, not a requirement. Emotional balance is another powerful habit. Life will not always be fair, kind, or gentle. There will be criticism, misunderstandings, and disappointments. Confidence is not about suppressing emotions or pretending to be strong all the time. It is about understanding emotions without letting them control your actions. A calm response in a difficult moment shows far more confidence than a loud reaction. When your mind is steady, your decisions become clear. The people around you also play a silent but powerful role in shaping your confidence. You may not realize it, but the conversations you hear daily slowly become your internal dialogue. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt, and constant complaints, your self-belief will weaken. But if you choose people who encourage growth, honesty, and positivity, confidence grows naturally. Sometimes confidence doesn't need motivation. It needs distance from the wrong influences. Finally, a confident woman lives with purpose, not pressure. She understands that life is not a competition where everyone must reach the same destination at the same time. When you know why you are doing what you are doing, comparison loses its power. Purpose gives you direction, and direction gives you peace. You stop rushing, stop proving, and start trusting your journey. Confidence is not loud. It does not demand attention. It quietly shows up in how you speak to yourself, how you treat others, and how you stand firm in your values. When a woman believes in herself, she doesn't wait for permission. She simply walks forward with grace, strength, and clarity. Confidence is often misunderstood. Many believe it comes from achievements, attention, or applause. But if confidence depended on success alone, then every successful person would be peaceful, and we know that is not true. Real confidence is not something the world gives you. It is something you build quietly when no one is watching. It is created in everyday moments, through habits so simple that they are often ignored. One of the most powerful habits a woman can develop is learning to be comfortable with herself. Silence makes many people uncomfortable because it forces them to listen to their own thoughts. But when you sit with yourself, even for a few minutes each day, you begin to understand your fears, strengths, and emotions. A woman who understands herself does not feel lost when the world questions her. Self-awareness slowly turns into self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Another habit that shapes confidence is learning when to say no. Many women say yes to everything out of guilt, fear, or the desire to please others. Over time, this constant adjustment to others' expectations creates exhaustion and resentment. Confidence grows when you respect your own boundaries. Saying no does not make you rude or selfish, it makes you honest. And honesty with yourself is far more important than temporary approval from others. Confidence is also deeply connected to discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Small daily commitments, waking up on time, keeping promises to yourself, learning something new, send a powerful message to your mind. I can trust myself. When you trust yourself, doubt slowly loses its strength. Confidence is built not in big moments, but in the consistency of small actions. Emotional strength is another silent habit of confident women. Life will challenge you, sometimes unfairly. People may misunderstand you, judge you, or even doubt your intentions. In such moments, reacting emotionally may feel natural, but responding calmly is powerful. When you pause before reacting, you give wisdom a chance to speak. Emotional control is not weakness, it is inner maturity. A calm woman carries an authority that cannot be taught. The environment you choose also shapes your confidence. When you spend time with people who constantly complain or criticize, your energy slowly drains. But when you surround yourself with those who value growth and positivity, your confidence rises without effort. Sometimes the biggest step toward confidence is stepping away from spaces that shrink your self-belief. In the end, confidence comes from living with clarity. When your actions align with your values, there is no inner conflict. You stop seeking validation because you are at peace with who you are becoming. A confident woman does not rush to prove anything. She walks steadily, knowing that her journey is meaningful. Confidence is not about being fearless, it is about moving forward despite fear. When a woman believes in herself, she doesn't need loud words or constant reassurance. Her calm presence speaks for her, and that is true confidence. There is a quiet strength that does not announce itself. It does not raise its voice or demand attention. Yet it is the kind of strength that holds a person steady when life becomes uncertain. Confidence grows in this quiet space, not from applause, not from perfection, but from understanding who you are and choosing to stand by yourself even when things are not easy. Many women believe confidence will arrive one day after they achieve something big or reach a certain stage in life. But confidence does not wait for success. It grows while you are still learning, still trying, and still making mistakes. Each time you fall and choose to rise without bitterness, confidence becomes stronger. Each time you speak kindly to yourself after a failure, confidence deepens. A simple but powerful habit is learning to slow down. In a world that celebrates speed, slowing down feels uncomfortable. Yet when you slow down, you stop reacting and start responding. You begin to notice your thoughts, your emotions, and your patterns. A woman who understands her inner world is not easily shaken by the outer one. Calmness is not a weakness, it is clarity in motion. Another important habit is letting go of comparison. Comparison is not just the thief of joy, it is also the destroyer of confidence. When you constantly measure your life against someone else's highlight moments, you forget your own journey. Confidence grows when you accept that your path is unique. You do not need to walk faster or slower than anyone else. You only need to walk with sincerity. Confidence is also built through self-discipline. Not harsh discipline, but gentle commitment. Keeping small promises to yourself, such as caring for your health, managing your time, or learning something meaningful, creates inner trust. When you keep your word to yourself, your mind learns that you are reliable, and self-trust is one of the strongest forms of confidence. Emotional resilience plays a quiet role in confident living. There will be moments of criticism, rejection, and misunderstanding. In those moments, confidence does not mean proving others wrong. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. A calm response often carries more strength than a long explanation. When your peace matters more than winning an argument, confidence becomes natural. The people you allow into your life influence your confidence more than you realize. Words spoken repeatedly become beliefs. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt slowly settles in your mind. But when you choose uplifting, honest, and growth-oriented company, confidence grows effortlessly. Sometimes self-care means choosing better conversations, Finally, confidence is rooted in purpose. When your actions align with your values, you feel grounded. You no longer need to impress or compete. Purpose removes unnecessary pressure and replaces it with direction. A woman who knows why she is doing something does not get distracted by opinions. Confidence is not about being fearless. It is about moving forward with faith in yourself, even when fear exists. When you live with self-respect, emotional balance, and clarity, confidence becomes your natural state. And when a woman walks with quiet confidence, the world slowly learns to listen. Confidence is not something that suddenly appears when life becomes perfect. In fact, life rarely becomes perfect. Confidence is built when you learn to stay steady even when things are uncertain. It is the inner assurance that no matter what happens outside, you will handle it with grace. This kind of confidence grows slowly through awareness, patience, and simple daily habits. Many women spend years trying to meet expectations that were never meant for them. Society, family, and social media quietly define standards, and slowly a woman begins to question her own worth. But confidence begins the moment you stop asking, "Am I enough for everyone?" and start asking, "Am I being honest with myself?" When your actions align with your values, self-doubt starts losing its grip. One of the most powerful habits for confidence is self-compassion. Women are often their own harshest critics. A small mistake turns into self-blame, and self-blame turns into self-doubt. But confidence grows when you treat yourself with the same kindness you offer others. Mistakes are not proof of weakness, they are signs of growth. When you learn from them instead of judging yourself, confidence becomes natural. Another silent habit is learning to be patient with your journey. Everyone grows at a different pace, yet comparison makes us believe we are late. Confidence fades when you rush your life to match someone else's timeline. But when you trust that growth takes time, you feel relaxed and focused. A woman who trusts her journey does not panic when progress feels slow. She understands that consistency matters more than speed. Emotional stability plays a deep role in confident living. Life will test you through criticism, misunderstandings, and unexpected challenges. Confidence does not mean reacting strongly to every situation. It means responding thoughtfully. When you pause before reacting, you give wisdom the space to guide you. Calm responses show strength, not silence or fear. Emotional maturity is one of the strongest forms of confidence. The people you engage with daily also shape how confident you feel. Conversations filled with negativity and doubt quietly influence your thinking. On the other hand, being around people who speak with honesty, hope, and encouragement lifts your spirit. Sometimes confidence grows not by adding something new, but by removing environments that drain your energy. Confidence is also connected to purpose. When you know why you do what you do, opinions lose power over you. Purpose gives meaning to effort and direction to struggle. A woman who lives with purpose does not need constant validation because she measures success by growth, not by comparison. True confidence is gentle. It does not need to dominate or prove anything. It shows in how you carry yourself, how you speak with respect, and how you remain grounded during challenges. When a woman believes in herself, she moves forward calmly, trusting that her strength lies not in perfection, but in authenticity. Confidence is not about having all the answers in life. It is about trusting yourself even when you don't. Many women believe that confidence belongs only to those who are bold, outspoken, or always certain. But true confidence is often quiet. It shows up in how you handle uncertainty, how you treat yourself during difficult times, and how calmly you continue moving forward. Life constantly tests confidence through challenges, expectations, and comparisons. When things go wrong, self-doubt appears easily. But confidence is built in those moments when you choose patience over panic. When you remind yourself that one situation does not define your entire journey, your inner strength begins to grow. A woman who understands this does not lose faith in herself after one setback. A powerful habit of confident women is self-reflection. Instead of blaming the world or constantly judging themselves, they pause and ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in thinking transforms problems into teachers. When life becomes a classroom rather than a courtroom, confidence naturally develops. Learning creates growth, and growth creates belief. Another important habit is consistency in self-care. Self-care is often misunderstood as luxury or selfishness, but in reality, it is responsibility. Taking care of your health, your mind, and your emotions sends a strong message to yourself: I matter. When you respect your own well-being, confidence follows. A woman who values herself does not seek validation to feel important. Confidence also grows when you learn to let go of control. Many women carry unnecessary pressure, trying to manage everything perfectly. But perfection is exhausting, and exhaustion weakens confidence. When you accept that effort matters more than perfection, you feel lighter. Trusting the process brings peace, and peace strengthens self-belief. Another quiet habit is mindful communication. Confident women do not rush to explain or defend themselves. They speak when needed and remain silent when silence preserves peace. Not every opinion deserves your reaction. When you stop giving energy to unnecessary conflicts, confidence becomes stable. Calm words and thoughtful pauses carry more power than emotional reactions. The environment you choose plays a major role in shaping confidence. If you constantly hear discouragement, your belief slowly fades. But when you surround yourself with encouragement, honesty, and positive growth, confidence rises effortlessly. Sometimes confidence is not built by doing more, but by stepping away from negativity. Ultimately, confidence comes from living with integrity. When your actions match your values, there is no inner conflict. You feel grounded, secure, and clear. A woman who respects herself does not chase approval. She trusts that her journey has meaning, even when progress feels slow. Confidence is not a destination you reach one day. It is a habit you practice daily. It lives in your thoughts, your choices, and your patience with yourself. When a woman learns to trust her inner voice, she walks through life calmly, knowing that her strength lies not in being perfect, but in being true to herself. Confidence is not something you find outside. It is something you practice daily through small choices, simple habits, and self-respect. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be authentic. So walk calmly, speak honestly, stand firmly. Because a woman who believes in herself doesn't need permission to shine.